Hi friends, welcome to the Share Report. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. It gets this video out in the algorithm so more people can see it and so we're not censored, because today's video is very, very important, like most things we talk about here on the Share Report. So, as you may know, there is a virus that's out there, and just to let you know, there has been viruses in the world since the beginning of humanity. But the only thing about this is that they're trying to scare us again. I wonder if it's going to work. So here's the thing that I want to say before I bring someone on here that it just expresses my thoughts so eloquently. Okay, before I introduce you, that person who's going to be speaking, I'm going to give you a little bit of thoughts first and foremost. Okay, so we know that sometimes history repeats itself. Actually, history repeats itself a lot. But sometimes we allow people to cause history to repeat itself, especially the bad parts of history, because they're definitely testing our memory to see if we remember what happened to us 6 years ago when they shut down the economy and inflated the numbers and put out this poison, substance for everybody to take, and then we have people left and right reacting to it in a lot of different ways that I don't want to talk about because it's very heartbreaking. And I actually have some stories that I could share with you, but I probably won't because, like I said, it's very heartbreaking. So what I'm basically saying is history is starting to repeat itself, and it's all kind of making a little bit of sense, actually a lot of sense. Okay, so we're currently in the middle of a foreign war, and gas prices are through the roof. So it all seems like this puzzle piece that is just unfolding and coming together just ever so perfectly. Okay, create this global catastrophe, manufactured global catastrophe. Gas is too expensive, so people won't be able to leave their house. Oh, it's too expensive. We're going to create something. You can't go out because of the virus. There's a new virus out there. Okay, you can't leave your home. Oh my, in order for you to leave your home, you have to have a digital currency. Oh, what else can we add to the list of things to lock you down because you're just so fearful and you don't remember your history very well? Okay, those are my thoughts. And it just seems too convenient, all too convenient right now. Okay, so I'm going to bring on the bright, intelligent Thomas Massie, who is actually, his election's coming up very, very soon. I think we're down to 9 days. Definitely get out there and vote. Like I mentioned before, I'm not the one to say the new reformed me. It's not to tell anybody to vote anymore because they're all just worthless. But Thomas Massie, he's the only one left in America that I think we should get behind. In fact, Thomas Massie, 2028 for president, that's when I will get up out of my seat and drive and go vote for him. So here he is talking about the virus and what he thinks, and I definitely think you should take heed. So here's Thomas Massie speaking right now. Watch throughout the whole video.
Look, this is an IQ test, and it may just be a memory test. Do you remember monkeypox? Do you remember bird flu? Do you remember every time they've tried to bring back the COVID lockdowns? We don't need to go back to that. That was a complete failure, the whole response to COVID, and don't let them bring it back. This is an IQ test at this point.
The Hantavirus is a big deal right now. And so now here's Dr. Robert Malone, who was, no matter what the Atlantic magazine says, he was the inventor of the mRNA platform. He was the first one to do that. And of course, he didn't invent the COVID vaccine, but he invented the platform that it was built on. And he's got patents on many vaccines, and he's one of the leading people in that field. And so here's what he tweeted out yesterday. He said, your odds of being struck by lightning are more than 7 times greater than getting Hantavirus in the USA. About 250 people get struck by lightning each year. There are about 35 cases per year of Hantavirus he meant to say USA, in the USA. 35 cases a year in the USA with about 12 deaths per year on average. Obviously, Hantavirus shouldn't be a big concern for the vast majority of Americans, but I turned on CNN, and here's what CNN is saying.
And what a quarantine might really mean in context of the long incubation period. And we have a question from one of our viewers. They ask, it's said that it can take 8 weeks to become symptomatic. The passengers shouldn't be allowed into the public until they're completely cleared. You know, what is that a fair way to look at this? I mean, how long do you think people should be quarantined who are either on that ship or in contact with someone who is there?
Yeah, I mean, this is the big challenge with this virus, the long incubation period. And now we have people scattered really around the globe that are being properly tracked, isolated, quarantined, and get it under control. But what they did was they quarantined and isolated people for 40 days because of the long incubation period. So unfortunately, this is a key factor in us trying to figure out, how do we keep people safe? How do we prevent further spread? I mean, what we're all tracking right now is that potential secondary spread. And then how do we minimize those who are infected from infecting others?
So there is, again, CNN being completely alarmist about another pandemic and wanting people to be quarantined and trying to scare the hell out of everybody at the behest of certainly Big Pharma, which pays 70% of their bills. What's your reaction to this hantavirus pandemonium?
Look, this is an IQ test, and it may just be a memory test. Do you remember monkeypox? Do you remember bird flu? Do you remember every time they've tried to bring back the COVID lockdowns? The laptop class longs for the days when they could just sit at home and order their crap on Amazon and get their groceries delivered, never go out and see anybody and collect a paycheck, and have it their way. And look, we don't need to go back to that. That was a complete failure, the whole response to COVID, and don't let them bring it back. This is an IQ test at this point.
And the WHO is in on it too. So one of the good things they did was they pulled this Trump administration. They pulled us out of the WHO. I mean, in my estimation, that was a good thing. And here is. The World Health Organization is now openly saying that the hantavirus outbreak proves why the world needs centralized global health control. Let's listen to just a few seconds of this.
But how does that translate in a global solidarity? I will let time to tell, but we really need this incident, this outbreak has seen why the world needs a global entity that coordinates this. The Argentina support how they came forward.
So what he said was this outbreak of hantavirus, which again, as Dr. Robert Malone says, you have a greater chance of being hit by lightning than catching this. The WHO is now currently saying this is proof that we need a central health organization for the world like the WHO. Do you have a response to that?
Yeah, the WHO is the first cousin of the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And those are the Epstein class. Look, there are a class of billionaires who want, Bill Gates included. By the way, the CEO of the World Economic Forum had to resign over the Epstein files recently. But they're all first cousins. They all want more control. They will not let any crisis go to waste, and they'll manufacture a crisis if they don't have one already, because fear is the biggest motivator of people, and they know it. And so that's all this is. It's a power grab based on fear, people's fear of their own, their health and well-being. And the reality is, it'd be a whole lot healthier if you just ignore these folks, eat good food, stay out of the hospital if you can, and stay off the medications if you can, and quit letting them poison our food with no liability.
And by the way, I'm told that ivermectin will treat this if you have to worry about it. But of course, I'm sure they're going to lie about that. Come see me on.
All right, so there you go. Thomas Massie talking about this virus and what they are manufacturing. And if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I highly recommend it. I'm going to insert here what it looks like. Definitely watch it. Thomas Massie is explaining the kill switch. Okay, and if you don't know what that is, look at the video. You definitely need to know. So beyond just gas prices being super high, okay, they want to also control your vehicles. Like I said, everything is just coming together just as planned, okay? WHO is siblings to WEF, okay, or first cousins or whatever it may be, but they're definitely quite close in kin. So we are seeing this all play out very well, and I'm hoping that we all have a higher IQ this time, and not let them play games with us and put face diapers on us and cause us to be locked away in our homes for fear of something that they manufactured. Don't fall into the trap again, friends. Also, support Thomas Massie. His election is coming in 9 days. Support him, get the message out there. If you don't even live in Kentucky, post on your social media pages. Tell everybody about it. We need to get the message out here. He is the last and only voice to help America. 250 years coming upon us. Remember what I said about the empires crumbling at that number? We're definitely seeing. But if we all get together, because we the people own this country, we the people, this is our government, we can actually do something about it. All right, I will see you all in the next video. In the meantime, share, subscribe, all the things, support, share it, get this video out in the algorithm. All right, see y'all next time. Thank you.